But it's the same kind of phenomena. Okay, if they're a star of the team, it's someone that's not your ilk for whatever reason.
Right.
It's just that's not your vibe.
Right.
Then it's hard.
It is. And what do we come to love and want? When you watch, whether it's Dr. J, Magic Johnson, or even if you bring it up to current times, when your best player's on the floor, don't you look for him to be spectacular because he is the best player?
That's what
so
you
why
want.
would you want less? Why? I see. My whole point is
wouldn't.
How many people come to sit back and say, moreover, we want to see Jordan fly when he's flying at the
You
peak,
wouldn't.
at the precipice and the peak of his performance?
You wouldn't, Vic, and it shows up in the ticket sales. Remember, this is what happens. I think LeBron's coming. Everybody's pissed off. I'm definitely buying a ticket. That's the way they are. He's coming. Oh, I hate him. I'm going to this game. Hey, you want to go, Bob? Yeah, let's go.
Right.
See, all of a sudden they all just look. To me, it is entertainment.
Right.
It's the NBA right now. One of the best shows in town.
Yes,
still,
sir.
Consistently compared to football. Vic, take a minute.
Right.
Compared to the number of good football games that you've seen.
Right.
I don't care. There's no comparison.
No.
You get way better games, way more exciting, and even with all the outcomes. So I can't wait. But like you said, LeBron right now, and now you can't wait to see Nowitzki.
Right.
Because the finesse stuff lines up well for a good game, doesn't it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Both of them are. I said at the very first of the series, I said Dallas will make for a more exciting team against Miami out of all the teams remaining.
130 to 135.
Right. Because what you're going to see that they won't be able to say stop one player. They'll go after Dirk. I said, but what they got to deal with is the other role players who they have extreme confidence in, who actually are seasoned players.
That's
who
right.
Go like, you can't do what you did with
Jason
Chicago.
Terry, you're not gonna shake. See,
No.
you're not gonna shake him.
Right.
You just not. He gonna drill you.
Right.
He gonna be cold blooded, just eye steel.
Right.
See, they can't wait. They can't wait. And Nowitzki too. He's gonna
Right.
be ready for you to come. And they not. But none of them have the attitude to me to just do extra dirty. They'll do physical.
Right. And what we're saying here,
physical.
look, I know I'm going ahead of the game, and look, I'll be the first to turn around and say, hey,
Might as well go ahead.
I'm going, Miami's already going for that spot in the East. Dallas is already positioned to be in the West. So I'm going to tell you that to me is the best matchup. Even though I like to see D Rose because he performs so well, it's just not enough firepower and confidence on their team. Even if they make it through the next game and go through the next game possibly, I said, to me, the excitement hinges on a one-player performance. When he doesn't perform, you sit there and watch the rest of his players and go, oh, my God, what are we going to do? We agree. So I'm looking for vastly improved entertainment, up and down. Dallas makes for that for me, and I like what they're doing. No diss on Oklahoma. I think they're young, decision-making, untimely decision mistakes. I think they're terrible. They have too much turnovers. I just don't see them changing that mode up against a team like Miami who's way more faster, as quick, and defensively stronger than Dallas is.
No, again, this is where we kind of, I hate to say it, we're in accordance with Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
To sort of echo the same, and I agree with you totally. And the other thing is, Vic, I don't have any problem with it because remember, here's what I was saying to everybody: I'm looking forward to next year.
I know you.
I am. I'm saying, first of all, Chicago, come on! I love this team too to watch them.
Right.
So next year I'm gonna watch them more. I even like the same players just stepping up their game as they get. And is anybody not looking forward to a more mature Westbrook?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, don't you want to watch him next year? I said, hell, I do.
Yeah, I'm all for Westbrook.
Yeah, he's going to be better. And even Durant, they all are going to be so much better for this.
Right. What they're finding out is this is a different level. And there's multiple levels in the NBA. Preseason, regular season, first-round playoffs. Second. As you increase, all of a sudden, I said, it goes from your talent to here. You have
totally.
It's like Jason Kidd goes, I've taken place that the talent I used to have running up and down the court and traded it off with decision making. And he's done much better going, I can shoot three-point shots, but I don't take them just because I can. He makes the best shot conversion that works in Dallas' favor.
Minute to minute, the best against the best forces you, right?
Yes.
To either the best against the best. What might have got you by 90% of the other cats guarding you suddenly doesn't work now.
It sure doesn't.
And that's just what's happened.
Right. And look, we are fans more than anything. So I believe me, on any given day, let me just be a bench player for 1 minute so I can have the experience. So for me, all the players are winners. But in the end of the day, we get to pretend like we know what we would do if we were in that position as a coach and or player. But now the next news coming up, and I'm not saying it's a done deal, Mike Brown. It seems like they're flirting with the idea that it's already a deal. And reports say that he will be the L.A. Lakers' new coach. Now, we talked about options on this. And I remember we said, who can we bring in? And we brought up Mike Brown's name. The first thing we thought about, Mike Brown, who won 60 games and brought the team along with, of course, the man, LeBron. Or was it Mike Brown, who really couldn't coach LeBron to be the best he could be? All these questions came up back in the day.
Unfair.
I know it is. I know it is. So who is the Mike Brown? Remember, he comes from the Popovich camp. So they're working on defense, aren't they?
Well, I think first of all, how do you feel about that? I find that to be very positive. I like this guy. I always did like this guy. And watching them take charge of the team, to me, that's not what it came down to, no offense.
Right.
And I still give LeBron the break for, growing into the role too, you guys. No, I think he did I think he did a very good job.
Yeah, I think what they did is they painted the story, because you have to paint your story around the super athlete or the superstar. What I like about this move, and what they've already admitted, and everybody knew this, and nobody wanted to say it, there was really no strong premium in the Phil Jackson camp on defense. And it was self-evident that the players translated what was practiced on. Mike is a defensive man, and he comes from that. And what he brought to Cleveland when LeBron was there, he said, I may not have a lot of players around LeBron. I got LeBron, but I got defense. And when they played the Lakers, for the last few years, they had the Lakers' number. Now, it was regular season, I know that. But they had their number, and the role players played defense. So the reason why I think they're interjecting him, fresh new face, brings a philosophy of defense, because I'm telling you right offhand.
A little more discipline.
Right. If the Lakers don't change the philosophy on defense next year, I don't care who you get on the court. I really don't. I go like, Dallas figured it out. They said, we're offensive firepower, but we escalated our defensive focus. And I said, does it look like the Lakers are trying to be more defensive? I didn't see that this year. I saw elements of, well, we don't practice it all the time, so why should we play it all the time? Well, I think that's what Mike
makes you wonder, so again, that also affects, so you bring Artest back for another year. I mean, there's a bunch of things you can do, to me, like, again, I had said before, the Lakers did not need to be attacked with a sledgehammer. They needed a scalpel.
Right.
And it would be a bad mistake to me to just totally, tear that team apart.
Right.
Like I said, there's some other just fine. And I say the same thing really about the Celtics, by the way, too. I mean, for another year.
Right.
I'm not saying another 2-3 years.
Right.
I said another year. Because especially with Mike Brown, the only person you're wondering about Derek Fisher.
Right.
And because I'm a Derek Fisher fan,
I know.
I could see him, the same team, come back, almost the same team. Remember, I said that before, though. Almost the same team.
I know.
With just a different coach, and I think everybody will be happy.
I'm going to say this because we really don't get to follow them off season. I think when you want to be a champion and you want to go to the next level and you see the writing on the wall of how teams are playing now, it's changed already, I said. So don't all of you guys now have to go to what they call this strict conditioning of being able to run. And even if you're not running, you're going to have to play defense and chase these cats that got speed wrapped around them. And speed is not necessarily outrunning them. It's being able to run from one point to the other quickly. So if I go from one point here to 5 feet over here and I take my time, I said, so it's a mentality. So I think they have to do better off-season conditioning. And focus on not the triangle.
And it's also not new. Well, okay. Well, you could do both. I don't know what offense you work on. But, Vic, that's always been, right, the most conditioned people.
Yes.
I mean, that even goes way back to when we were kids. The best conditioned people showed up, would produce always, and it always came down to those kinds of things like that. And so no wonder today, just like saying the ones that hustle the hardest.
Yeah. When
you get teams where everybody's like that, where they bring it like that.
Right.
But it's just unusual. And like I said, in the professional ranks to maintain.
Right. Here's a question I got for you. We already said, I mean, this is my belief that, his claim to fame, Mike Brown, is that he's a good coach. That was the number one. And I asked the coach, what's his claim to fame? He comes from Popovich, all right? We already said that. The other is, what is the playbook going to be about? I said, the playbook is going to be, he's not going to mess with already what works. I said, it's going to be defense. He's going to interject some defense and a philosophy there. Now, the question is, what happened to Brian Shaw? See, young, been in the camp. Mario, what do you think?
I mean,
happened?
I don't know. We haven't said that he's got the offer
I'm just
or
saying,
the job.
Right, no.
I mean, this is just a rumor, right?
Yeah, well, no. Let me just say this. There's a good chance when you start seeing the publications, and they're already addressing it in the broadcast camps, it's swirling around. They even know that it's about a 3 or 4 year deal. All of that is happening, and they're saying they're ready to present the announcement.
Well, that means he just didn't get the job.
Well, no, but here's my question. Let's just say that he does get the job. I still ask.
No, I mean Brian Shaw. I mean, it means that Brian Shaw, he may need to either move on, because I'm not even sure, but it'll be interesting whether or not, it would be very interesting to see whether or not Mike Brown kept him on.
They love the presentation.
They're not going to keep on Kareem, right?
Right. Well, I'll leave that alone, man. Kareem, look.
They're not going to keep on Kareem.
Just get a mental statue of you. And, Mario, in real life, people like real likable people. I hate to say that's not what you go to college for. You don't go to corporations to be a likable person. You go in there to execute your skill. But I hate to say it, when you're distant and people can't find what it is that makes you even have a big smile, we would wait for Kareem to go smile your ass off, and he really just wasn't that type of cat. So I feel for him. But to take it to where I say where Brian Shaw is, the interesting part about this, and yet to be determined, I wonder, because they said when Mike Brown came in and did his interview, they were so pleased with what his focus, that he came in as if he knows exactly what's going to work. There's a difference in selling what you can do versus what will work.
Well, it'll be interesting who he hires, because let me tell you something. Even after retiring, Derek Fisher is a coaching candidate probably somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
People are already talking about some of his stuff, and just I wonder.
Right.
I never have ever guessed who could be a coach, by the way, but I really wonder about him because the way he conducts himself.
Right.
So this is exciting to me, even with Kobe.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not an anti-Kobe, but I'm just saying it makes the Lakers offense, cool. And like I said, I wouldn't dissect the Lakers. That's the one thing, even as a not Laker fan. Yeah. I just think it would be a shame to tear the team all up in a way that was counterproductive.
No, I think what's going to happen is they're going to get their mindset on things during the offseason to find out where the players' heads are. Because I think no matter how much we look at this, I said you really got to find out where that player's head is as it moves forward. And usually, it's like the Perkins deal. No matter how much his head was focused on something, not necessarily his role in Boston. He played his role in Boston, but his head was making more money, virtually through his agent, of course. So that's where he was focused on. But I want to go over to the next call. Do you believe? And only because we didn't get time to go over this because Turquoise had to leave, I want to let you know that you don't have to worry about believing this photo because it speaks for itself.
That's Dwight Howard's baby mama.
No, don't even go there. That's wrong.
That is, though.
No, leave it
she
alone.
Is.
I know you're going into the Basketball Wives and the whole thing.
I watch Basketball Wives.
I know Royce Reed.
She's a little teeny little thing.
Right. Now, I believe if it goes the way I believe it
she's
is.
also an athlete, too, Vic. I mean, she came up as an act. That's why she's different than a bunch of the girls.
Right.
She's used to running and doing and all that, being physical.
Right. Now, I'm not saying that she's definitely going to be in the lingerie basketball league, but I believe it's safe to say that this is a great representation of what we hope to see and of this upcoming sport that I can't wait to find out what do you believe. So I'm going to go right on.